Hello and welcome to the Friday the 13th Masterclass edition of Cracking the Cryptic, in which I'm going to try and do just that and tackle today's Times Cryptic crossword for you, which is by none other than John Guyver, an old friend of mine and one of the very, very best crossword constructors in the whole wide world. So I'm very much looking forward to having a look at John's latest. John's clue writing is second to none. He is very, very gifted. So I know I'm going to enjoy the puzzle. I hope you'll enjoy watching me battle with it too. I think it's the snitch rating, which I actually want to talk about a little bit. I think the snitch rating is higher than average. Let's have a quick look at the stats first. Okay, so and again, we're going to talk about some of this in a minute, but the first 3 times here are so-called neutrinos, people who solve it on paper first or get the answers off the internet and then type the answers in so that they can appear at the top of the leaderboard. Why they do this is an interesting thing to theorize about, but Lily is real there. That's Liam Hughes, who I think came third in last year's Times Crossword Championship. I'm pretty sure Liam was on the stage and came third, so phenomenal solver. I don't know Peter G47, but the Times suggests that's real. Misty Gris is definitely real. Verlaine is Matthew Marcus, who's won the Times Crossword Championship. Dean Short is a very good solver as well. And yeah, so you can see these times, I mean, the fastest real solver statistically, I think, is John McCabe at the moment. Mohn, M-O-H-N, and John's average time, I think, is a shade under 5 minutes. So you can see that even very good solvers here are taking 6 minutes and then 9 minutes even. And for Matthew Marcus to take over 10 minutes on a puzzle is probably once a month. So this is definitely not an easy puzzle. We can be assured of that. But I had a lovely email today from Stuart, who I actually met. I met Stuart and his wife Sonia at last year's Times Crossword Championship, and Stuart is the man behind the Times Crossword Snitch, which is something I definitely recommend you all check out at some point. I've got the Snitch here. Hopefully you can see the link there. So this is today's snitch, and what Stuart was saying is that now you can sort of filter this. So we can click on average time there. Oh, so I've done it the wrong way round. So average time. So you can sort of see by ranking of average time how everyone real has done. Then this time, so this is the official. This list will correspond to the list on the Times site. Except I think this has removed the neutrinos, the solvers who do it on paper and then type it in. And if we want to know more about neutrinos, we can find out actually if I click this button. We can go over here and there's all the statistics of how the neutrino detector and how it's all scientifically worked out. And if we go over here, look, I think this is quite an interesting table, because this is the actual table of average times for people who've submitted more than 20 solutions in the last month. And you can see current skaters, neutrino. So lots and lots of the top people have been identified statistically as being neutrinos, which means that no matter how hard the puzzle gets, there's no difference in the average time that they take to solve the puzzle, which is a big indicator that it's just nonsense. But you can see if we go down here, solver 52 is considered to be, I don't know, I thought reference meant that they might be used in the stats, but Mohn is real there, so that's John McCabe, and we can hide the neutrinos. So this list is basically real. This is as close as you can get now to sort of ranking the top The top solvers. Oh, there's me at 25. Look, not very good. But so we've got John McCabe there, 4 minutes 28. So I did John a disservice by saying a shade under 5 minutes. That's quite a lot under 5 minutes as a percentage. Nathan Panning, 5.5 minutes. Lily, so that's Liam, we talked about. Oh, this strange collection of letters here is Colin Thomas, who was also in last year's final and is a phenomenally quick solver. Magoo is our very own Mark Goodliffe, averaging exactly 6 minutes. Paul Gilbert, Chloe Hutton, who again emerged on the scene at last year's Crossword Championship, phenomenal solver. And I think also a super speedy typist. I can't get anywhere near Chloe's times, even on supposedly easy puzzles. And then we've got Matthew Marcus, Jason James. Hillary's been the Times Crossword champion at least once before, I think. I don't know Misty Griss's real name. Apiece 99, is that Andrew Fisher, I think? Yeah, Alan Saldana is a very, very good solver, as well as loads of really good solvers except me in that list. So anyway, I thought I'd just share that with you. Thanks very much to Stuart for keeping that up to date. For some of us, we do take the statistics, semi-seriously. I do like to see them. And yeah, so I appreciated your email and all the efforts that you go to, Stuart, to keep all of that stuff fresh. Now, it is Friday the 13th, which is a terrifying day to record videos of solving, isn't it? But it is also the day when there is a new Half Man, Half Biscuit album out, all Asimov and no fresh air. So I am very much looking forward to listening to that later. If you don't listen to Half Man, Half Biscuit, and you have any any love of wordplay at all, and you probably do if you're watching this video, go and buy all the Half Man, Half Biscuit albums and just listen to them non-stop until you agree with me that they really are works of genius. And one other thing to mention before we kick off, and I'm sorry for the long introduction today, but over on Patreon right now, went live at 10 a.m. This morning, we have Mark's solve of the latest Club Monthly special, which I think is under Specialist on the Times website. Let's go and have a look. I think it is. Maybe I've got that wrong. I don't actually. Oh, here you go. So I can't remember how much of a lag Mark does on them. He might have to not do the June one quite yet because it might still be live. I'm not sure. So let's go back a bit further, and we can have and I'll show you the sorts of things that. Oh, if I mess this up. Oh no, that could be it. So if we click this, and you should instantly, if we even look at a couple of clues, we'll see that there's just a lot going on in these clues. So if all vocabulary is completely fine. Some of the abbreviations you'll need to know in the Club Monthly special, are really stretching the dictionary. And let's have a quick look at one across just for fun. Mob from Republican Party covering eatery with flyers. Covering eatery with mob from Republican Party. You see, the thing is, this could well be a phrase that is uncommon and possibly even unheard of. So, Republican Party. I don't even know why I'm looking at this. This isn't what I'm meant to be doing. Anyway, Mark's solve of that, which he tries to do without a dictionary, and it really is quite interesting to watch. Even if you're a very good solver, you will get a lot out of that. So that's over on Patreon right now. But with that said and done, do I have a dictionary? Yes, it's in the wrong place though. There we go. And I'll be using the dictionary just to talk through how the clues work. I'm not going to use it to solve the puzzle, hopefully. But let's have a look at John Guyver's puzzle now, and let's get cracking. Here we go. Right, one across 9 letters. One extending sight below ground, laid item over surface of rubble. And immediately, what I love about John's clues is they conjure pictures in your mind because they read so well. And And you have to cast aside the pictures that the supposed sentence is giving you, because it won't help you. All of these clues are a bit like mathematical equations, and they all will have a straightforward definition of the answer. So, and that's almost always at the start or the end of the clue. So this is a 9-letter word. It might mean one extending site below ground, excavator, maybe something like that. I'm just thinking about whether that could be correct. I don't think it is, actually. Or it could mean the other side of the clue, surface of rubble. One possible way of reading this, which is slightly mad, but I'll mention it. One extending site below. Could that be the definition? I don't think so, because I can't think about what that means, but I'm just looking at the word ground here. And ground is one of these beautiful words in English, where if we talk about the ground, we know what we mean, don't we? It's that thing, the floor out there. Yeah, that's the ground. But ground is sort of the past tense of grind. And if you grind something, that would be a very nice way of saying anagram something. Because if you grind something, you sort of crunch it up, don't you? So if you grind, or if the letters of laid item were ground, that would be 8 letters of anagram. And we put that over the surface of rubble. Now, is the surface... Can a word have a surface? If it could it be the R? So is it possible that this is an anagram of laid item and R? And it means one extending site below. One extending site below. It could be. I'm not seeing what the anagram is if it is that. Anyway, that's a very long-winded way of saying I don't know the answer to this. So let's look at one down. 5 letters. What's for docking following alongside river? What's for docking following alongside river? Okay, I don't know what this is. Again, it's the same thing. We've got to try and work out what the definition is here. What's for docking might be the definition, but the thing is... that, I mean, what John's trying to do here is conjure up an image in your mind of sort of a canal boat going alongside the river and then having to dock. But docking is a word that could mean to cut. So what's for docking? Could this be defining something that cuts things? Following can be abbreviated to F. It's one of those slightly unusual abbreviations. So I say this every week, but it bears repetition. You can't just abbreviate any word in a cryptic crossword clue to its initial. It has to be supported by the dictionary. But if we go to F in the dictionary and we click down, we will find not only rude words, we will find following. There we go. So F, could this be F? A river can be R for exactly the same reason. The thing is, the river also is difficult because river... Obviously, there are lots and lots of short river names, especially in England and Scotland. You know, there's the X, the D, the T's, the Tyne. I mean, there's just gazillions of them. So I think this clue is something I shouldn't focus on yet. I suspect this is quite difficult, although. Should we have 6? Let's have a look at 6 across instead. 5 letters. Have Egyptian strip. Clubs out of sight. What? have, I mean, again, we've got to ignore the surface about having the Egyptian strip clubs out of sight. Have Egyptian. Have Egypt. What is Egyptian doing in this clue? I mean, okay, my reading of the clue is that the definition is at the start, and I think it might be have. Could it be have Egyptian? Have Egyptian. I don't think so, but the way I read it is I need a 6-letter word for strip, possibly. And then clubs out of sight is making me think of, we're going to take the letter C out of that 6-letter word that means strip. Because C can be abbreviated to clubs, and that's from playing cards, especially I think bridge scoring. 1C would be 1 clubs as a bid. So I think strip, deface. No, have Egyptian. I mean, there can't be a word for an Egyptian strip, can? Oh. No, I was wondering if it was... I don't know. I'm not sure. That's a fascinating clue, and I don't know the answer to it. And as usual, John's totally getting the better of me. Let's try 9 across. 3, 4. Old style free trade company. Old style. I have a horrible feeling that can be abbreviated to OS. I don't know that, so I'm not going to look that one up. But something is ringing the vaguest of bells with me there. So could it be OS, and then if you treat the letters of trade freely, you might anagram them? That would give us 7 letters. So we're looking for the name of a company, if that's true. No, I don't like that. I don't like the OS at the start. Old style free trade company. It just makes me, you sort of want to think of the East India Company or something like that, and I'm sure it's got nothing to do with the answer. Goodness, this is a terrible beginning. Okay, well, we've got to keep going. Maybe we'll try 14 down instead. These long answers that go down give us 5 starting letters if we could get it, 9 letters. Doubt expressed before bishop abandons scriptural life-giving connection. Ugh. What? Oh, I have nearly got this one, actually. I think this is a biological reference to a life-giving connection. Reminds me of a riddle. I was at the golf competition last week, and we were talking riddles, and I remember a riddle my father told me when I was young. A man goes into a time machine, arrives at the destination of the time machine, so that could be the TARDIS, I guess, opens the door, sees a naked man and a naked woman, and immediately knows he's looking at Adam and Eve. How? And I think that is that might be a reference. I won't tell you the answer. The answer will be revealed, no doubt, either in the comments or through us thinking about this clue. But actually, and I'm thinking now, I'll tell you the riddle that people actually agree. People didn't really like the answer to that riddle, but people did like, or not like, but people did think the answer to this riddle was fair and could appreciate it as being as not actually terrible. So let me try and get this right. A man pushes his car around a corner, looks down at a building, and immediately knows he's bankrupt. Why? Anyway, Anyway, right, a doubt expressed. I think if you and you express a doubt, don't you? So I'm wondering if this begins with before a bishop. Well, in chess notation, a bishop can be b. Now this is script. Okay, that's wrong. So it's umbilical, I think this, or umbilical, and it's actually biblical for scriptural without the b. The bishop, the b, or one of the b's, is leaving the word biblical to give bilical, and an umbilical, life-giving connection, I think, is an umbilical cord, isn't it? Which is the sort of cord that attaches a baby in the womb to the placenta, I think. I hope I'm not getting all this wrong. Anyway, so that's, I think what's going on here. So life-giving connection is umbilical. Raising the question about whether Adam and Eve had a belly button, and we've got an answer, and I've totally lost my train of thought. But now we've got five starting letters. Now hopefully this will help us get started. So let's look at 14 across, 3 letters beginning with U. Individual remains inside this country club nursing a drop of rum. Okay, well now having that U has really helped me with this one. So I try and do this every week. I've not done it very well so far, but in your own mind, when you're looking at the clue with me, make a decision. What do you think the definition is? Because the better you can get at narrowing down the definition, the better you'll get at solving these clues. And here the definition is individual remains inside this, which is very surprising, but it is. So the wordplay, the sort of equation bit, you've got sort of x equals, a squared plus b squared minus c squared type thing. The right-hand side of the equation there is country club nursing a drop of rum. Now the country club here is not, don't think about sort of a nice country club in the countryside. No, it's a club of countries. It's the UN. And the UN is nursing, so it's cosseting, it's surrounding a drop of rum. And that's not talking about a tot of rum, as in the drink. It's talking about a drop of the word rum. And that's going to be the first letter. And that's an important convention, actually. Whenever you get a phrase like that, it might say I don't know, a bit of cheese or something, or a drop of rum. It never means the second letter or the third letter. It always means the first letter. And you'll always find that. So a drop of rum is not going to refer to the U or the M. It's always going to refer to the R. So we've got R in the middle of UN to give urn, and an individual remains, as in, it's what an urn is, something you keep people's ashes in, isn't it? So that's why that's the answer. Now let's look at 17, beginning with B, 11 letters. What may shield you when tilting cereal bowl, perhaps spilling odd pieces of kofta? What may shield you when tilting? Okay. I haven't got this, but I think I'm pretty sure what I just read out was the definition. What may shield you when tilting? Because, of course, tilting is one of those weird words that has... I'm pretty sure that in jousts, you tilt. You go for a tilt when you do jousting. So Don Quixote tilted at windmills, sort of charged at the windmills. So what may shield you when tilting? I think this is some reference to jousting. Then cereal bowl. Oh, what do I see? Cereal bowl is 10 letters. Spilling odd pieces of kofta. Odd pieces of the word kofta are K, F and A. K, F, A. Bran. I'm now trying to think of cereals beginning with B. Bran? What may shield you when tilting? Bran. I don't know. Bowl, perhaps. Spelling KFA. Breakfast has got KFA in it. Oh, it's not breastplate, is it? Breakfast plate. That's ridiculous. I can't actually believe I've solved that like that. That's such a weird way to solve that clue. I think it's breastplate. And the only reason I got that was I was trying to think of words that contained K, F and A, and I thought of breakfast. And then I spotted if you took KFA out of breakfast, you got breast, and that made me think about armour for jousting, and I think breastplate is what we're looking at then. And a breakfast plate is literally a cereal bowl. It's a type of cereal bowl. It's just genius wordplay. Ridiculous. And look, now we've got another starting letter. Let's keep going with the acrosses, though. They've been going well. 20 across beginning with L, 9 letters. LA Rams first quarter. That's very poor. Very poor. Scoring's relatively slow. Ah, okay. Okay, so again, make your decision. What do you think the definition is? Now, I think it's going to be scoring's relatively slow. But that's not a reference to what... I don't even know what the LA Rams play. Are they American football? They sound more American football than the Lakers, aren't they the basketball? And I don't know what the baseball team is in America for LA, but it's nothing to do with that. Scoring. What do you get scoring in? I think this is a reference to the musical score. So on musical scores, if you were going to say play the music relatively slowly, I think it's going to be something like this. I don't know whether that's the answer, but I know that's a word. Larghetto. That probably means play it quite slowly. But why? Well, LA, Rams first is going to be the first letter of the word. Oh, it's ghetto. Oh, yes, sorry, it is obvious. Quarter that's very poor. Again, just look what John's done with language there. LA Rams first quarter that's very poor. You know, it conjures up a very realistic picture. I don't know, sorry, and I'm sorry to any LA Rams fans out there. Maybe LA Rams really don't play bad first quarters, but they might do. And it conjures up that image. But actually, LA Rams first quarter that's very poor for LAR and then a ghetto. It's just beautiful. Right, let's try 24 across 7 letters beginning with C. Criminal record held by rogue facing appeal. Yeah, okay, I have got this one, I think. Again, this is. I mean, it's a beautifully worded clue. Criminal record held by rogue facing appeal. It is beautifully worded. Make up your mind. What do you think the definition is? And when you're trying to work out the equation for the wordplay, how do you feel that's working? What's the word criminal throwing up for you? Criminal is an interesting word because criminal absolutely can be an anagram indicator. If you treat letters in a criminal way, that would imply they're sort of out of place or mischievous or something. So could be an anagram. If you had that thought, it's a good thought, but it's not right. The word in the clue that I found the most helpful here was record, because at times is never one to avoid anachronisms, and records are still EPs and LPs, vinyl records. So if you see record in a cryptic clue, it's very likely one of those abbreviations. And you can, if you're trying to understand how the wordplay might work, phrases that indicate the positions of things, or to put things into things, or remove things from things. That's going to be wordplay. So record held by. Well, it's very clearly an instruction to put an abbreviation for record, EP or LP, inside a word that means rogue. Can we think of any short synonyms for rogue, perhaps beginning with C? And I can think of one. I can think of two. Cad would be one of them. The other one would be cur. Now, if I put LP in cur, and suddenly I've done the clue, basically. Facing appeal, this is really, I mean, it's beautiful use of language, but that string is facing, it's next to a word for appeal, and if you have sex appeal, you have it. So culprit is the answer, and a culprit is a criminal. So just gorgeous. And then we've got this one beginning with L, which is surprising. LA Ram would fit. 27. Capital. I'm thinking La Paz, maybe. Murder case for acquittal overturned. Yeah, I think it is La Paz. So capital murder case for acquittal overturned. Again, just it's worth, when you're in the presence of a master clue writer, it is sometimes just worth rereading the clues after you solve them, just to check. Oh yeah, that's another brilliancy. So we're looking for a capital city here. So we cut the clue after the word capital. The rest of it is wordplay. If you murder somebody, you might zap them. The case for the word acquittal is its first and last letter, A and L. And then all of that is overturned to give La Paz. Now what's that? Hertz? Okay, 5 letters beginning with H ending in Z. Measure of frequency, so it is going to be hertz. Measure of frequency of period pains reported. See, it's really clever. So again, we have to cut this in the correct place in order to understand it. We actually have to cut it between the word period and the word pains, and this is something that the really best cryptic crossword clue writers often do. We're so used to reading words together. Like look at 16 down. You can see the phrase there, Cornish pasties. Now our brains read those words together so naturally. It would be it's really hard to make your brain stop after the word Cornish and then read pasties separately. And similarly with period pains, we're familiar with that as a phrase, but here what we have to do is cut it between the word period and the word pains. So the definition, measure of frequency of period, now that is probably an exact definition of what a hertz is. We'll check that in a moment. But how does the wordplay work? Pains reported. If you see words like reported, or that might be a phrase like by the sounds of it, or we hear, or one caught, because you catch things when you hear them, any reference to you hearing something is going to indicate a homophone. So this is a word that sounds the same as another word, but is spelt differently. So think about the word H-U-R-T-S, hertz. That means pains, doesn't it? But it sounds exactly the same as the answer to the clue, hertz, as in the measure of frequency. So let's actually see what the exact definition of hertz is. There we go, a periodic phenomenon, of which the period time is 1 second. So the measure of the frequency of the period is literally the definition. But John's noticed that period pains is a phrase and then used that to construct the clue. Now I think I can think of a word that fits in 18 down. 7 letters beginning with E. Oh, Florida lawman. That's going to be Wyatt Earp, I presume. Introducing extended headgear protection. I mean, I think this must be ear flap. Oh, okay. So I've shown my ignorance there, because Florida lawman, I could see Earp. I thought I could see why Earp was coming into the clue somehow. But I've now realised that Wyatt Earp may not have been Florida. Yeah, he was probably more Texas, was it? I don't know. I'm not going to embarrass myself any further. But Florida can be abbreviated. I think... Ooh. I think FLA can be Florida. We'll check that in a moment, but FL can be Florida as well. But I think here it might be FLA. And the lawman is Wyatt Earp, EARP. And lawman is introducing the abbreviation for Florida, FLA. So let's check that. Let's check everything. So FL is Florida. FLA, is that also Florida? So a bit tricky. But an extended headgear protection is the definition. And I guess that's right, isn't it? Because an ear flap sort of, it would be normally part of a hat, would it? And it would come down. I have a hat like that. I'm not going to tell you what my friends call me when I wear it, but it's very rude. Oh, could we be looking at a pangram? I'm just looking at this. The Z sticks out a bit, doesn't it? Often if you see a constructor getting unusual letters into the answers, they might be trying to achieve a pangram. So we should be on the lookout for Q's and J's and things. Let's try 25 down. 3 letters beginning with T. Non-casual affair may require that you French kiss. Yeah. So, I mean, I've read that in the most torturous way, and I've totally removed the beauty of the clue. So I'm going to read it now as a non-heathen would read it. Non-casual affair may require that you French kiss. I mean, it's a superb wording. But where are you going to cut the clue? Now, if you're saying you're going to cut it after the word that, well done. It's not easy to see that. But that is where you cut it. The definition of this 3-letter answer is non-casual affair may require that. So this is the thing that is required by the non-casual affair. And it's not talking about a romantic affair. It's talking about a formal occasion. And if you go to a formal dinner party, you may be required to wear a tuxedo or tux. And that's the answer. You, French, is saying, what is the word you in French? To-you. A kiss, if you put a kiss on a card, we'd all know that was an X, wouldn't we? So T-U-X, tux. And now I've got an X at the start of this. Xenophobe would fit. Xylophone would fit. Oh, hammered instrument. It's probably xylophone, isn't it? Use whetstone after axes, cut and hammered instrument. Now, I read that deliberately wrongly because I can see that axes here is not going to be that. Well, we sort of guessed the answer here. So let's see what John's done. The word axes, obviously, it conjures up an image of a hatchet, doesn't it? But let me read it differently. Axes, the plural of axis, A-X-I-S. Now, the X and Y axes, we'd all be familiar with from our school days. So I think that axes here is giving us XY. Use whetstone. If you... Oh, hone. Oh, it's... No, I see it now. So, no, it's after axes, XY, cut. If you cut something, you lop it, L-O-P. So after XY, lop, put a word that means use a whetstone. And if you use a whetstone, you hone something, don't you? It's just beautiful. And the whole thing equals a hammered instrument. So here the word and is doing the duty of an equal sign. So mathematically, we can think of the constructor as saying, use whetstone after axes cut, gives a string of letters that equals xylophone, and so does my definition, which is hammered instrument, xylophone. Now, okay, so I'm more convinced than ever about pangram is now. Probably go for the 7-letter one ending in O, shall we? Catch hold of me climbing over blockade. I think I know what this is. I haven't worked out why, but I can think of a word that means blockade that would fit here. So I'm thinking embargo. I haven't worked out why yet. Catch hold of me climbing. Oh yeah. Catch hold of, grab, me, that all climbs. Now this is a down clue. So when we're told that something is climbing, that can indicate reversal. It would not work if this was an across clue. It's only because it's down that things climb and they reverse. Just as if it was an across clue and it said, I don't know, from east to west or something like that. That's indicating, you know, something is moving in a horizontal direction. And that wouldn't work in a down clue. But embargo, O for over, is perhaps the tricky one there. And that is from cricket scoring. And I'm very sorry if you are new to these puzzles and you're thinking, but I've never watched cricket. Well, that's a you will have to become familiar with the various cricketisms that live in cryptic crosswords. They just do. O for over is one of them from cricket scoring, and over being 6 balls. Maiden you might see for M. If you know, leg for on is very common as well. The on side is the leg side in cricket. There's a whole variety. But let's try 19 across. 3 letters beginning with E. Individual cycling around for a long time. Yeah, okay. So this is something I'm seeing more in crosswords, I think, in the last year or two. The concept of words cycling. I almost wonder... I was wondering whether that's something to do with computers being able to spot the various opportunities for words to cycle. But what does it mean? Well, frankly here, we're looking for a 3-letter word which means a long time. And if we're beginning with E, we're thinking of 2 possibilities, era and eon. Now try and decide, if you don't know yet which of those it is, try and work it out, because I think it would help. The answer is eon. Why? Well, an individual is one. One is literally defined by the word individual, isn't it? And if the word one cycles, what cycle implies is that you sort of take the last letter and put it to the start, and then you might take the new last letter and put that to the start, etc. The word would cycle. Now this word has only cycled once to give eon, but that's what cycling is doing here. It's saying move the final word or the final letter to the start, etc. And we can get eon, which means for a long time. Now we've got a few other possibilities here. It's quite strange actually to work from the bottom up in a crossword. It's just not normal. But it was necessary because I couldn't do any of the early answers. Should we try the one ending in P? 16 down, 9 letters. Dodge, factory dance, preceded by Cornish pasties. Dodge, factory dance. I haven't got this yet. Because what I've been trying to do is think of short synonyms for the word factory and the word dance. Or so dodgy, I now see it's dodgy. Cornish pasties. Cornish pasties question mark as well. We get lots of questions about what do question marks mean. The fact is, there is no one answer to that. A question mark on a clue can indicate many things. It could mean simply that the clue is phrased as a question and therefore grammatically requires a question mark. It can mean that the whole thing is a pun, so it can indicate a cryptic definition where you have to read the whole clue and sort of think about it laterally. It can mean this is an example of something. So Cornish pasties, what are they an example of? Pies, perhaps? Pies? Dodgy. I don't know. But anyway, coming back to the word dance, can I think of a short synonym for dance? There are loads, actually. Jig would be one, but the one I was thinking of is hop, because of the P. So I'm wondering if this might end in shop. Dodgy is like sort of pawn shop, or what is it? Dodgy factory. Dance preceded by... Oh, sweatshop. What? Why though? Southwest Eats. Oh my goodness, that is genius. Right, well, this is a great example of... Okay, so... This is ridiculous. This is ridiculously clever. Right, the answer is this. Sweatshop. Why is going to be harder to explain. So, dance is a hop, H-O-P. That is preceded by S-W-E-A-T-S, which, believe it or not, is defining Cornish pasties in a sort of punny way. The question mark is definitely necessary here, because Cornwall is in the southwest of England. It's my favourite county. And obviously Cornish pasties herald from Cornwall, so southwest eats, things that you eat in the southwest, would define a Cornish pasty, or could define a Cornish pasty. So we've got SW eats hop, and a dodgy factory is a sweatshop. It's beautiful. It's quite ridiculously clever, frankly. Now, 22 across, 5 letters beginning with T. A couple of rounds added to bill in prohibition. Okay, well, this one is easier, especially given what we've got in the grid. So, again, hopefully you've all got this one. But you might be wondering about why. Why are a couple of rounds? How can that give double O? And that is because if you look under the letter O in the dictionary, it literally says something like anything round. So let's just do that. O. Anything round or nearly so. So a couple of rounds is literally 2 O's, and that's added to a bill. If you a tab is obviously a bill to give taboo, and if something is taboo, it is subject of a prohibition. So hopefully that one is relatively clear. Now let's try 23 down, 5 letters beginning with O. Unusual route taken to the cleaners. Well, okay. I want this to be outre, which is an anagram of route. So if I treat the letters of route unusually, I might anagram them. But why is that taken to the cleaners? If something's outre, it's sort of a bit out there, isn't it? Taken to the cleaners. Is that inherit then going across? Get second hand. If you get something second hand, you inherit it. Fashionable. If something's fashionable, it's in. A lady, ladies, her. If you said that's her hat, you could have said it's that lady's hat. So her and ladies with the apostrophe S as the possessive is they are synonymous. And then item discounted by 50% is, say, look at the word item and take 50% away from it. That just gives it. So inherit is going to be right there. Get second hand. So outre must be right here. Unusual. Taken to the cleaners. you take someone to the cleaners, you sort of wipe them out, don't you, financially? Ultra. It's just worth pausing. I mean, I wouldn't, to be honest, if I was solving this at speed, I would not pause. I'd just assume I didn't know the reference, which it turns out I don't. And I wouldn't spend too much time on it. But the risk with that strategy is obviously if there is another reading, and somehow there's another word that fits, you will get it wrong, and then I'll feel like a doofus. I don't think there is. I mean, I will commit to leaving this in, and let's look up outre and see if we can understand the reference. Beyond what is customary or proper, extravagant or fantastic. Well, that's what I thought it meant. Taken to the cleaners. Take to the cleaners. There it is. Where's the definition? Here. To take all or a great part of some person's money, to beat or criticise severely. Oh. Okay. The anagram indicator is not unusual, is it? Unusual is the definition. If something is outre, it's unusual, and root has been taken to the cleaners. It has been sort of wiped out, has been decimated. So sorry, I was being very slow there. Let's try 13 down. At least we understand it now. 11 letters. Having tailored aim to resolve. Okay, I haven't got this, but I do understand what it's getting at. I think this is going to be a sort of and lit clue, where the whole clue does double duty. It's going to be, we have to read the whole thing to give the definition of this answer, and we have to read the whole thing and it gives the wordplay. And what I think the wordplay might be is if we resolve the letters of tailored aim, that's 11 letters, isn't it? So I think that's what we have to do. We have to resolve or anagram tailored aim, and the whole thing is going to mean having tailored aim to resolve. It probably ends in, I don't know actually, real or shall. I don't know. I don't know. Let's just try and get the starting letters, then that will become obvious, I think. We've got P and T at the end of, or P blank T at the end of 4 down. So let's have a look at that. 5, 6. One may be on hand as, okay, so I'm thinking this is glove puppet, just from that. One may be on hand as animal doctor captures darling dog on film. Darling dog, I think is trying to make us think of the Darling family. Are they in Peter Pan? But but I think darling, your darling is your love, and a dog is a pup. So I think this is going to be animal doctor, GP. Oh, is it? I want to say vet as well. I think it's glove puppet. I haven't quite worked out why. I think it's glove puppet. Now, why? Animal doctor captures darling dog. Oh, the film is E.T. Okay, E.T. does come up as a film a lot. When was E.T.? It was in the early 80s, wasn't it? So that's quite a long time ago now for it to still be so ubiquitous. It's such a useful, such a useful 2-letter film, I suppose. So one may be on hand as animal doctor. No, I see. The definition is not that. I'm doing it again. I look at animal doctor and I want to read it as a phrase. One may be on hand as an animal is the definition, because a puppet presumably is normally an animal of some sort. And then the doctor is the GP, and that is capturing love pup, and then that's all put on top of the film, which is E.T. So I do understand it eventually. Now, what's this one? 9 letters beginning with the E. One lying around, hotel, tucking into crackers and cheese. It's just the wording of these clues is so good. One lying around, hotel, tucking into crackers and cheese. One lying around, hotel. I mean, hotel can be H, and that's from the International Radio Alphabet. So, you know, if you say, I don't know, F is foxtrot, isn't it? Romeo is R, hotel is H, or all of these things, which I think most people will be familiar with. So hotel tucked into, or tucking into, seems to me to be saying put H into something. Now, crackers could be an anagram indicator, if you treat letters in a crackers way. But and cheese is 9 letters already, and I only need 9 letters, so I don't want to put H into an anagram of and cheese. I'd have 10 letters. So, I mean, how many letters are there in Emmental? I'm not sure of the spelling of Emmental. Is it like that? If it was, could that be correct? Mental. Mental means crackers. So, okay, so this is probably Emmental, which is a cheese. So again, and here is it's doing the duty that we saw earlier on with xylophone. So what John is saying is that the sort of left-hand side of the clue is the equation part, and that's going to build up to give Emmental, and cheese also defines this string of letters. So one lying around. Why is that me? Hotel tucking into crackers. H in mental. Oh, unless I've misspelt this somehow. Emmental. One lying around. Unless one, is that sort of, I don't know whether this is right, but I'm just trying to justify this EM at the start of the clue. If royalty used one, they would be referring to themselves, wouldn't they? So one, if one was synonymous with me, then that lying around would be a reversal, lying around being the reversal indicator. That's my best guess for that. I'm not sure, but and I could have misspelt it, but I think I would certainly go for this. Let's go back to the anagram then. Tailored aim. Having tailored aim to resolve. Having tailored. Why can't I just see that? Naughty brain. Yeah, it definitely ends IAL, I think. And it is tailored aim to resolve. I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, look, we've got an O in this one. 9 across. Old style free trade company. Ends in O, 7 letters. 3, 4. Oh, Art Deco is what this is. Ah, okay, so I do want to check OS, because I thought that was... So an old style, I think, is Art Deco. And what that is free trade, i.e. anagram trade. That gives Art DE, and then an abbreviation for company, CO. Now, why did I think OS could be old style? Have I made... Oh, it can be. I haven't made that up. Okay, I'll forgive myself a little bit then for that. Let's try... Should we try 2 down? Did I ever look at this? No. So 7 letters ending in N. Did Champ cheat to conceal international currency? Okay, I don't know what the answer to this is, but I'm absolutely sure I know where to cut the clue. I think it's going to be after the word champ. So I think this is a word that is defined by did champ. And if you champ, if you're a horse and you champ at the bit, you chew, don't you? So did champ, I think it's going to be a past tense. I don't know what it is. Did champ. Bittern or something. Cheat to conceal. International currency. See, international currency question mark as well. What is that question mark doing? The thing is, it could mean we're looking for the name of a foreign river, believe it or not, because a river has a current, and therefore international. I'm wondering whether international currency could refer to a foreign river. And then the problem is there are a lot of those. Did champ? Oh, I'm so cross with myself. I know it means did champ. I just can't see what it is. I looked at that one, didn't like it. Did we look at 11? No, we never looked at 11 across. Let's try and do this one cold. So 5 letters. Fluorine, added to river, lacking an opening to the sea. Is that... Yeah. Okay, I've got this one. And this has convinced me even more. This is a pangram. Right. So we've got to be familiar with our periodic table. So fluorine obviously is an element. If you know what its abbreviation is in the periodic table, that's going to be good. I think it's F. So that is for F is added to a river lacking an. So literally we're looking for a 6-letter river next that lacks the an from it. And you may be familiar with the river Jordan. And if we take the an out of Jordan, we get Jord. And a fjord is an opening to the sea. Isn't it beautiful? Now, where should we go? Let's go back to 1 down then, where we've got ending in F. What's for docking following alongside river? What's for docking? I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. Let's try 3 down. 9 letters. Do servers in buffet slip on old rags? The opposite. It's just the wording is so good. Do servers in buffet slip on? When you get these phrases like the opposite, it means we have to. So slip on old rags might be, we might read that and say, okay, we need a word for slip and we're going to put it on top of a word for old rags. But when we do the opposite, that's going to imply we have to put the old rags on the word for slip. So it's going to be something like that. I don't know. But then we have to decide, and I'm pretty sure that will be correct. It'll be something like that, which will mean the other side of the clue is the definition. But then, do servers in buffet? Or what? Do servers in buffet slip? What on earth is going on there? I don't know. I'm going to be fascinated if hopefully when we get that, to know how that works. We've got a G and one across. Oh, bobbins, that's terrible. That's put pay to my idea. It was an anagram. One extending sight below. It's not going to be something digger, is it? Ground. Laid item over surface of rubble. One extending sight below ground. Laid item over. I don't know. Let's try 5 down. 3 letters. Hold up shift perhaps, wanting end to strike. Yeah, okay, we can do this. Again, the whole key to this is to cut it in the correct place. So make up your mind. What do you think the definition is? The crucial part really of this is end to strike. End to strike is so clearly, to me at least, saying what's the end of the word strike? It's an E. And something is wanting the end of strike. So we actually need a 4-letter word that had an E in it, and we're going to take that E out, and it's going to mean hold up. And if you hold up something, you could think about hold up as in suspend. You could also think about robbing. If you hold up something, you rob, don't you? And a shift is a type of robe. So we've got robe wanting for its end of strike, and that's going to give us rob. Let's try 10 across, 7 letters beginning with B. Sweet bachelor, also called about the ladies. Sweet bachelor, also called. I've got this one. Sweet bachelor, also called about the ladies. Okay, what do you think the definition is? And I think it's sweet. So it's literally the name of a dessert is what we're looking for here. Now, bachelor can be B, and you're probably familiar with that from, if you got a degree, you might get a BA, a Bachelor of Arts. So B is going to be bachelor. Also called. Now, in a criminal sense, if you're also called something, you would be AKA, wouldn't you? Although I'm going to have to do that slightly differently. I'm going to do it like that in order to get this to work. Back, and that's about the ladies ? Now the ladies is not referring to the people that the sweet bachelor is calling about. It's referring to the loo, the ladies, as opposed to the gents, and that's what the question mark's doing. It's saying the ladies is an example of a loo. Can we think of any short synonyms for loo? Lav. And baklava is a sweet. So that's how that one works. Lots of strange old letters. We still haven't had the Q though, have we? The Q could go there. Ooh, 51 quid. Let's check this and see whether this is a Q. 15 across, 11 letters. Amount of 51 quid is tantalizingly split evenly. Split evenly. Equalization or amount of 51 quid is tantalizingly split evenly. 51 is interesting. 51 it's important to know your Roman numerals, and 51 is LI. £51 quid. Amount tantalizingly. I want that to be, I don't know. I keep thinking of liquidized and things like that, but it's not right. I think could that be L then? Do we have two L's in tailored aim? No, only one L. So that is not an L. Okay. Amount of 51 quid is tantalisingly split evenly. Oh, I don't know. Bobbins. Let's try 6 down then. 5 letters, ending in N. Filler of macerated new wood. Macerated. Doesn't that mean chewed? Filler of macerated new wood. Filler. This is probably the name of a tree or something. I'm just trying to work out what I think it is. Oh, come on, Simon. I'm doing an alphabet rule in my head. I'm not doing very well. I've got as far as P. Well, okay, that didn't really work. Filler of macerated new wood. I don't know. Okay, we'll have to go further afield. Let's try 7 down. 7 letters for 7 down. Elderly are upset about long air passage. Okay, I can do this one. Again, make up your mind. What do you think the definition is? And it's always good practice. If you're seeing stuff being upset, you know, that's very likely to be wordplay, isn't it? So elderly are upset about long air passage. So what we're looking for is a 7-letter air passage here. And in a sort of biological sense, I think we're looking for trachea. And the reason I got that was I could think of a short synonym being ache for long. If you long for something, you ache for it. So, oh, this is vicious. So elderly are upset is giving TRA here. And the reason for that is not obvious. But what it's saying is an old word for R, A-R-E, is art, A-R-T. So an elderly form of the word R is A-R-T. And that is upset. It's reversed around the word for long to give the trachea. That's brilliant. Elderly are upset about long air passage. 8 down, 9 letters. Fake. Oh, I'm thinking of charlatan here. Fake cleaner. It's going to be charlatan. Left area at around noon. So a fake is a charlatan. A cleaner is a char. And this is again, it comes up a lot. Surprising amount. It's a short form of char lady, I think. I mean, nobody would ever use this anymore. But look, char. A charwoman. And a charwoman is a woman employed to do rough cleaning. So a cleaner. So we've got char. Left will be this L, I think. Charlatan. Let's put the rest of it in. At, around, I think can be area. Sorry, let's just make sure I don't mess this up. Area is going to be A. At around is going to. I mean, it's frivolous. At around noon. So I think what's happening is we've got left, area, at around. So reverse the word at to give TA and then noon for N to make sure that it all works at the end there. Now let's go back to 6 across where we've now got a. Oh, this is the. Oh, okay. We've got a C at the end of this. Have Egyptian strip clubs out of sight. Off sight. Coptic. I'm thinking of optic. That's. I mean, it's total and utter genius the way this is worded. The answer is optic. But the way we have to read the wordplay is so unusually clever, because we have to read the wordplay, have Egyptians strip clubs out. Now a word for Egyptian is Coptic, and we have to strip the C, or the first C, out of that. So have the word for Egyptian strip its initial clubs out, optic, which means if something is optic, it is of your sight, isn't it? So of sight is the definition. And again, we talked about this, we've talked about it throughout the video. How hard is it to read out of sight and separate it in your brain and say, oh, no, it's not out of sight. It's out, break, of sight, in order to properly define this answer. It's really hard. And this is going to be oaken then, which is I don't know why yet. Filler of macerated new wood. So it's going to be macerated. It's going to be a word, 6-letter word, I think, which has O-A-K-E in the middle of it. So the filler of the word, the 6-letter word for macerated, is going to be the heart of that word. I haven't thought of that, what that is yet, but I think that's how it's going to work. Come on, Simon, stop being a muppet. Soaked. Oh, macerate. Ah. Yeah, you get don't you get macerated cherries and things? Okay, so if macerated meant soaked, it would work. So we take a word. I thought macerate was to chew. What am I getting confused with? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I think it's going to be soaked. Take the filler of the word soaked, the O-A-K-E, add N to it for new to get oaken, which is, if something is wood, it is oaken. So let's check out what I've misunderstood. So macerate. I see, it just doesn't mean to. It does mean to soak, obviously. So what was the word I was thinking about? Let's look up. I'm going to look up chew. And one of the good things about this dictionary is now we go to full text. If we go down to M, was it that word? Manjicate. I don't think it was that word. Masticate. That's what I was thinking of. Gosh, that's awful, isn't it? It shows my lack of knowledge. But anyway, we have figured it out. We have got there. It just wasn't the smoothest of processes. Now, let's go. Well, where do we go now? We have looked, I think, at all of the rest of the clues. Let's go back to 15 across. If 3 down ended in ness or less, or even ERS, this would be an E. So amount of 51 quid is tantalisingly split evenly. I really think this is some sort of... it's a hidden, isn't it? It's equidistant. Oh, that's really clever. Oh, goodness me. So, there's almost always one of these in every Times crossword. But sometimes they're better than others. And this is very clever. And it's very clever as well because it's a hidden. The answer is literally spelt out in the clue. But because it's spelt out over 2 lines, it's harder to see. But if you take an amount of the phrase 51 quid is tantalisingly, you can see spelt out within that equidistant. And if something is split evenly, it is equidistant between 2 points. And that gives us the cue. Have we had the J? Yeah, we had the J in fjord, didn't we? So it's going to be... So what's this then? This anagram, having tailored aim to resolve. It's going to be something like mediatorial or something, is it? not a word I know. It probably is that. It's probably mediatorial, which would be that. And I don't know what that means. I can only see it's an anagram. It's got 2 eyes in it, which tailored name has. Mediatorial. I mean, how else could it be? Is there any other? Mediarotial? No. Okay, I don't know what this means. I would go for it, so let's look it up. Mediatorial. Oh, please be there. It is there. Mediatorial. Oh, I see. So it's sort of the adjective defining a mediator. Yeah, that's really clever. So that is defined, having a tailored aim to resolve. Okay, so I was not seeing that you could get mediatorial out of mediator. I do know what a mediator is, and a mediator is somebody who sort of, talks to both sides and tries to get them to agree. So it's absolutely somebody who would have a tailored aim to resolve. It's very cleverly worded, isn't it? Right, and we've just got, we've got to go back to the northwest corner. Let's go back to the 3 down. 9 letters. Breadless. Do servers in buffet slip on old rags the opposite? I mean, what's the definition? Do servers in buffet, or, I mean, buffet is a weird word because we could read that as buffet, don't forget. Do servers in buffet slip? Do servers. Do servers. I wonder if that's people who serve at a do, like a party. What would they be? Waiters and waitresses and... In buffet, slip on old rags. A slip is an error? Could a slip be a dress? Old rags. If a slip is a dress, could this end in that? And then we'd have to put a word for old rags at the top. No. I know this is brilliant, by the way. I'm well aware that it's brilliant, and I'm very cross that I can't just work it out. My phone's buzzing at me. All right, let's try 2 down again. 7 letters. Did champ. Bit down or something like that. Bitcoin. Oh, it's Bitcoin. Oh, that's brilliant. Good grief. Okay, I totally didn't understand this one, but I have got it. I thought it was going to be a 7-letter word which meant did champ, but it isn't. Did champ is part of the wordplay. If you did champ, you bit, and then if you con somebody, you cheat them, and that conceals I for international. And Bitcoin is a currency. Currency is given a question mark. Yes, I suppose that's fair. Bitcoin, I suppose, is a currency. But so what's one across then? One extending, sight below ground. It must be something digger, isn't it? Or laid item over surface of rubble. One extending sight. Below ground. Something digger. What is it? And if it was digger, that would be an I, which I don't like at all at the start of this one. That looks horrible, doesn't it, actually? That looks just horrible. So it probably isn't. One extending sight below ground. Something blogger? A blogger would be somebody who's on an internet site. Oh, it couldn't be web blogger. Oh goodness, below ground. I even said ground could be an anagram indicator. I didn't think it was going to be an anagram of below. I think it's an anagram of below. Web blogger. One extending a site, as in an internet site. Below ground. What's the rest of it? Laid. Laid item is an egg. Oh my goodness. A laid item is an egg that turns over and the surface of rubble was R. I was so close to so many bits of that and I didn't get it. Oh, is this overdress then? Slip on. Okay, so maybe slip on old rag. Oh, I've misled you again. I thought it was going to be it was indicating that this is the wordplay and it's the opposite on. But if you slip on old rags, if you do the opposite, literally do the opposite of slipping on your old clothes, you would overdress, wouldn't you? That's going to be the answer. I don't know. I haven't worked out the wordplay yet. Oh, so it's an anagram. Do servers in buffet? It must be. In is a bit naughty there, isn't it? If you buffet the letters of do servers, maybe a buffet is a in a buffet. It must be how you're meant to sort of read that. Not. I want that meaning. I think a blow with the fist. Yeah, so I think that's what's happening. I think it's an anagram of do servers. Those letters are being buffeted to give overdress, and the slip on the old rags, we do the opposite. Now, is this wharf then? That's good, isn't it? What's for docking? Oh, it's an and lit. Oh, okay. Now, well, I'll forgive myself. It's a brilliant clue. Wharf is the answer. What's for docking is saying dock the word what. Now if we dock it, we cut the tail off it, so we get rid of the T. That gives us WHA, and that has F alongside R next to it, which is this F and this R to give wharf. And if we read the whole clue, what's for docking following alongside river, it's defining a wharf. It's just genius. I mean, it's a complete genius of a puzzle. I think that's what I'd submit. Obviously, we were not racing, thank goodness, because I would have struggled, I think, with that. And we have got it right. And that is how to solve John Guyver's puzzle. I'm pretty sure it's a pangram. I certainly think we've seen Q's, J's, Z's, X's, K's, B's, W. Have we got a V? Yeah, V in baklava. Yeah, genius. That is a genius puzzle, a great, great pleasure. And and I will just have a quick go and try and redeem myself by having a race on the quick cryptic. So this is the one I won't talk very much about. I will try and do a decent time by going fast. Let's see how we go. Let's get cracking on this one. So team's requirement for maximum break, 15 reds. Team's requirement, I don't know. Fiction book. Provided fib is the answer to that. To exclude a learner is banal, ban-al. Old prison replaced entrance. Don't know. Let's try these down. Strolled in the ambled. Weapon that may be put. Lance. Sit at ease with one fizzy drink and sweet. I don't know. What's this one then? Team's requirement for maximum break. All blacks. I was nearly right. I was thinking of the right sort of thing. Lollipop, presumably. I don't know why. I will think about fizzy. One lol. Sit at ease lol. Yeah. New cartoonist. Mixed up lake. Caspian Sea. It's not Caspian Sea. It is Coniston Water, is it? I'm not sure about the spelling of that. All four directions linked together, sewn. Violently refute a prominent story as a feature. A couple of runs. Bye-bye. Whoopsie, can't type. Newgate is a prison. Purchase boy. And what's this one then? Stage. Lamenting poet is probably an I was going to say elegist. It's elegist. Okay. A dangerous creature. So children go in pairs. Should know that, don't. 14 down. Satellite phones. Bosses. Each cut by half. Phobos is a satellite. As in a moon, I think. Scorching temperatures destroy last piece of shrubland. Scorching. Don't know. Swagger around Los Angeles with English ballet. Swan Lake, I presume. Prejudiced. Big shot. Bigot is going on in there. Some 3 lakes surrounding one. European Lille. Turf very dry at first. Sod. Transport vehicle by railway and a road. I don't know. Elegant. That's chic. Hang on. Now where are we going? Don't know. Leader of communists executed and replaced. Hanged. After C would give us the right answer there. Just me on bank merely. Silver aglow. Done that one. Okay, so we've just got to get these other ones now. Dangerous creature. Crocodile, I suppose. That's probably a dangerous creature. Scorching temperatures destroy last piece of Scotland. Heath? I think it's Heath without... I'm not sure about that. Transport vehicle, cargo lorry, no, by railway and a road. Something away? Transport carry away, maybe. Conspicuously recruit. Signally, I think. Okay, that's probably what I'd submit there. So, I don't know if I spelt Coniston Water correctly, but it was right. 10th, not absolutely dreadful. Really nice puzzle. All blacks as the reference to the maximum break. I'm quite I thought all reds. I was thinking of the snooker, obviously. Let's see how slow I was compared to... Yeah, look at this. Mr. Gris and Verlaine, they're real times. Chloe's time is real there. That's a minute. A minute and a half with Mr. Gris. Which is an awful lot when I'm only taking 3 minutes 43. I mean, as a percentage, it's ridiculous. It's so distressing. It really is. Goodness me. Anyway, that's Friday's video. Well, Friday's first video. There should be 2 more later where we do other types of puzzles. But thank you very much if you're still watching. If you are still watching, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you're not subscribed. The data suggests that lots of people watch, but that the majority, by far the majority of the people who watch our videos regularly are not subscribed. So if you could subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. It tries to teach the algorithm about these wonderful, wonderful puzzles that we do every day. Yeah, we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.